There is an old concept in the Bible that basically says comparison is the thief of joy. One mistake content creators often make, no matter the size of their platform, we compare ourselves to our colleagues. I'm guilty of doing this, especially when I'm in a slump. I try not to do it as much anymore because I realize comparing just makes things worse. If I'm going through a natural or a cyclical slump and some of my contemporaries are performing well, it causes me to question myself. It'll make you second guess yourself. Am I falling off? Do I need to borrow the turd polish from Andy Cooper and use it to polish my resume? Once the slump ends and everything is back to normal, you realize you wasted all that time questioning yourself over nothing. Me personally, I try to compete with myself. I try not to compare myself to others and compare myself to myself instead. I always want to perform better in March of 2025 than I did in March of 2024. Unfortunately, though, there are cases where it is impossible not to make comparisons. We compare the quality of play in the WNBA dump to the quality of play in the NBA. It's a natural comparison. The NBA is a professional basketball league and the WNBA pretends to be a professional basketball league. We compare ratings in men's and women's college basketball. We compare ratings in the NHL to ratings for late night infomercials for the Boodle Soother. It's just like Preparation H, but with a supersized insertion device. One of the easiest comparisons to make is comparing ratings in cable news. More specifically, comparing ratings between CNN and MSNBC. Obviously, we don't include Fox News in this comparison because Fox is the NFL of cable news. They're in a class of their own. Well, KC, you forgot to mention News Nation, home of Chris Cuomo. Hey, it's me, Chrissy C. I could never forget the owner of the most popular account on Lonely Mans, but Chrissy does not belong in this discussion. His ratings on News Nation, they are more comparable to what Angel Reese is drawing with Unrivaled, a pile of turds that can't attract a single mosquito. But we do compare ratings between CNN and MSNBC. For years, MSNBC has dominated the Cemetery News Network. Hell, everything has dominated CNN. I could upload a video of my youngest dog humping Gumby, and it would draw a larger audience than anything at CNN. I mean, seriously. Would you rather watch Oreo or sit through a painfully boring hour with Wolf Blitzer? Woof, woof, woof. But recently, there's been a little shift between CNN and MSNBC. Now, MSNBC is still dominating CNN in overall viewership. They are several 100,000 viewers ahead during the day, and they're more than doubling CNN's audience in prime time. But while MSNBC might be winning the battle, CNN is winning the war because CNN is beating MSNBC where it counts the most. They are dominating in the key 25 to 54 demo. Things have gotten so bad at MSNBC, Larry O'Donnell, he has decided to abruptly step away. He is taking a full week off, claiming that he is exhausted from covering the Trumper. Well, KC, who is Larry O'Connell? You don't know Larry? He's that doofus that comes on right after Rachel Maddow. Rach hands him 2 million viewers, and when Larry's face illuminates the screen with the studio lights radiating off the Botox, 500,000 viewers immediately change the channel. My inside sources, they are telling me that exhaustion, that is just an excuse. It's a diversion. What Larry is actually doing next week is traveling to Ireland to spend time with his pretend wife, Rose O'Donnell. I don't know if Larry intends to fertilize the garden, but if it were me, I would leave the water hose at home. There is a reason that CNN is beating MSNBC in the key demo. Believe it or not, CNN has stumbled upon a formula that actually works. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. Today on the second channel, going to be talking about the FCC complaints that were filed against ESPN. Viewers of College Game Day, they are very upset. Initially, I thought they were pressuring ESPN to fire Pat McAfee. That I could kind of understand. But viewers, they are pressuring ESPN to fire Nick Saban. I'll tell you why, and why I think the reasoning is absolutely absurd. Video will be uploaded later this afternoon, so if you haven't already, head to the second channel and subscribe. Also, this is going to be the only video today here on the main channel. My oldest Yorkie, Chew, she's having surgery right now, so I'll be taking care of her the rest of the afternoon. As you guys know, ratings at MSNBC, they have been circling the pooper since the election. Rachel Maddow down 22%, although Rach has managed to rebound a bit recently. Tuesday night, MSNBC aired something called Prime. The show was polluting the airways in the time slot that used to belong to the Wicked Weave Joy Reid. Tuesday night, the Prime turd drew 842,000 viewers with only 100,000 in the key demo. The Prime turd was beaten in the demo by someone named Aaron Burkett at CNN. Don't ask me who in the hell Aaron is. I have no idea. I also don't know which pronouns to use. With a name like Aaron, they could be a he or a she. Hell, with this being CNN, they could be a them. Who in the hell knows? Who in the hell knows? But throughout the day on Tuesday, CNN's ratings in the demo were 15% higher than MSNBC's. And look, this isn't a one-off. This isn't something that happened on Tuesday and it's never happened before or since. Lately, this has become a trend. Question is, why? More than likely, it's a combination of factors leading to this, but I'll give you my theory. I'll provide one reason as to why CNN is gaining ground on MSNBC. I think it's the American hero, Scott Jennings. Last week, CNN gave Scotty a substantial pay raise, and with good reason. This dude is the only star at the network. Every night in prime time, CNN tries to set Scott Jennings up for embarrassing failure. They put Scotty on a panel against 4 deacons at Woke United Methodist, and to their credit, CNN sits back and they let Scott Jennings educate the indoctrinated. This formula has been so effective. CNN, they've got Scotty working throughout the day now. Earlier this week, he appeared on one of CNN's daytime dumps. He was competing in a battle of intelligence with someone named Sochi. Initially, I thought Sochi was one of the aliens that the Star Trek virgin Mike Freeman was trying to seduce. But as it turns out, Sochi is a political commentator at CNN. She put her numerous degrees from Woke U and her indoctrination skills to the test this week against Scott Jennings. And once again, the end result was huge, embarrassing failure. Watch for yourself.
You wouldn't have advised him to go in front of the White House and drive a Tesla.
Wait, why?
Because
of course I would have. You know why? Because if I were advising a Republican president, I would say, let's support American companies that have thousands of American workers and thousands more workers who make indirect products for it. Yeah, I think it would be a good idea if American companies did well under my administration.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and support a billionaire but not support the American worker and not necessarily...
Who do you think makes Teslas, Sochi? American workers. It's good if
but it's
Tesla
very
does
much
well,
as
American
Jana mentioned.
You think Elon
it's a quid
builds
pro
them all
quo.
in his basement? They got factories all over the place.
The visual of him driving a six-figure...
Did Joe Biden drive a Jeep Rubicon around the South Lawn?
Okay, a six-figure car
Where do they make those?
Is owned by a billionaire in the White House.
Is giving
the UAW had a stake in it, and the UAW gave
Biden.
money to Joe Biden, and they supported Joe Biden. You're saying one hand.
Well, you're talking about the UAW. You're kind of making
We're
a
talking
point
about
the
a billionaire.
workers.
A billionaire who is in the federal government making cuts and making business deals that end up benefiting himself.
Well, a lot of those
it's a miracle look for Donald Trump.
Democrats so excited to tear down an American company or companies the way they are right now.
Damn near every night in prime time, this is what Scott Jennings is doing. Do you understand now why I call him the American hero? This is no disrespect to anyone at Fox News, but it's easy for conservatives to appear on Fox because you got home field advantage. Every day, Scott Jennings is fighting by himself in enemy territory. This dude is in the lion's den. Well, I wouldn't call CNN the lion's den. Even though they have a wolf on staff, I wouldn't call it the wolf's lair either. CNN is more like Garfield's house, a house full of angry kittens. But every day, Scott Jennings is fighting against multiple deacons and winning. It makes for great television, great TV. Uncle KC has even started watching CNN. Now, I don't watch it every night, but there are 2, maybe 3 nights a week that I watch Scott Jennings decimate the indoctrinated. Show is starting to catch on, too. Abby Phillip, she is now beating Caitlin Collins. Katie, woo! Katie, woo! Abby has started beating the Root in the ratings. Abby Phillip comes on at 10 p.m., most people getting ready for bed. But thanks to the American hero, Abby is beating the Root. You know what I would do if I were CNN? And I would not be surprised if CNN makes this move later this year. I would move Abby Phillip into the Roo's time slot. I would move Roo back to 10 p.m. and put Abby Phillip on at 9. I mean, it makes sense. Due to her complete lack of charisma, Roo is already putting people to sleep anyway. Let her put them to sleep at 10 when people are actually ready for bed. Credit to Abby Phillip. She has stumbled upon a formula that works. But here's the problem. And it's the same problem that I have highlighted before with Abby Phillip. When you are hosting a show, you want to make yourself as valuable as possible. Everyone is replaceable. Hell, Fox has proven that countless times. Doesn't matter who they put on in the 8 p.m. time slot, Fox will make them a superstar. Jesse Waters, he's averaging 4 million viewers right now. But even though everyone is replaceable, you want to make yourself difficult to replace. The problem for Abby Phillip, Scott Jennings is the star of her show. The panel is the star. There's a lot of people in the media who can ask the questions. There's a lot of people in the media who can cut to commercial break. Abby Phillip is in a situation where she is completely expendable. But for now, credit where credit is due. Abby Phillip has stumbled upon something that is working. But give me your thoughts on this. CNN is beating MSNBC in the 25 to 54 demo. Why? I think some of it has to do with Scott Jennings, but the entire primetime lineup at CNN is resonating with younger viewers. So what is wrong with MSNBC? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.